Small and compact, but we make it work. Did many things, but it was a Buick dealership originally. And so these doors, you can drive your car in and out off Main Street. And they've stayed with the building. It allows us to essentially take our deliveries, park a big box truck on Main Street. They came to this building in 2012. Originally, we started commercially on the other side of Bristol in 2009. Looked at each other and said, can we start a distillery? Their background in government IT contracting and chemical engineering. You might think chemical engineering, mildly relevant, but it really depends on what you're doing. It's going to be different from your mainstay of American whiskey, which is bourbon. Farms been in your family for generations. It's all been paid off. But so what they would do is they would have to grow a certain portion of their field as cash crops. A lot of times it was tobacco. Tobacco is really bad for your soil nitrogen-wise. But rye is really good at fixing nitrogen in your soil. And so they would harvest their tobacco, sell it, and then they would plant rye to essentially repair the soil. When that rye had grown to a certain point, they would harvest that rye. Everyone back then had their own still, super common, and so they would essentially make rye whiskey and sell it at the town market or something like that. Scott and Becky Harris prefer rye over bourbon. They own the business, so we make 100% rye whiskey. And we do 100%. So technically, to call something rye, it only needs to be 51%. So you can do 51% and 8 and 49% corn. We do 100% rye, which is kind of rare. Copper goes behind the stainless steel heating jacket. We use steam to heat here. Copper is used for two reasons. One is that if you consider like boiling water for pasta at home, it takes a while for that water to boil. And the second reason it's used is because copper interacts chemically with high alcohol and creates copper bisulfate, which is kind of a cleansing chemical. And so some of those off flavors that naturally occur during distillation will get cleansed just from the interactions with copper. So it's a really great metal for that. You see it'll travel up, and you see that Eastern European church steeple S shape, onion bulb on the top. That's set up to promote second distillation. And so pot stills aren't good at distilling stuff that's really high ABV. It's just the natural way that they're designed. And so you need a second distillation to really get it into the higher range that we want. And so that shape is set up to promote a bit of second distillation in the sense that as water and alcohol travel up, there's going to be a certain portion of them that are just going to naturally cool down as they go up to the point where they'll fall back in. That shape creates more surface area, so instead of going straight up that pipe, it has to go along the edges or the inside of that shape, travels a little more distance. That distance increases the chance that essentially it's going to cool down and fall back into the pot still and get that second evaporation just naturally. So the first part is the heads. And so this is around 90% alcohol, very strong. When you distill, you actually create two types of alcohol, methanol and ethanol. Methanol is the heads, and so it's actually toxic in large portions. And so it's kind of similar to rubbing alcohol in a sense. In the middle is a hydrometer. It's essentially how you measure alcohol. And so go directly into that tank. And for the majority of the run, say, again, it depends on the volume. So 4.5 hours, 5 hours, this still will be producing hearts. So this is that second division that we make. And so this is ethanol, so not toxic. Good stuff. Hearts during the production run. Final product. Obviously there's a color difference.
Yeah.
And that comes from the barrels. And so the whiskey barrels are burnt on the inside. They're essentially charred. Gives you that much darker color, say compared to a wine barrel, as well as some caramelization and barrel flavors that come through on whiskey. One of those is that it needs to be a brand new barrel. You can't use it twice. 100% American oak, and it needs to be charred. You can see on some of these barrels. It's just what they prefer in terms of their style, as opposed to super oak forward. It's kind of the middle. I do like half an hour of paperwork because in the state of Virginia they own all hard liquor and it's not taxed yet, and so they need to make sure that they're getting their tax money. Like I was saying earlier, there's always a certain percentage of loss in production, and so if it's outside of their accepted range, they'll get very angry at you because you're stealing their tax money.
Question, are you also paying like Percival taxes as well, like city limit? Wow.
So we use Percival town water. We do a hot honey whiskey as well.
Oh my
and
God.
that essentially happened when we thought we were doing a honey whiskey, and they did a hot honey, which is chilies and honey. And so with the rye, it's sweet, spicy, and with the rye, a really great flavor combination. Kind of a happy accident. Happened around a year ago, and it's kind of become our most popular whiskey.
Yeah.
Peated Scotch. That's
Peated? Oh my gosh.
we
That's
don't do Scotch here.
yeah.
Oh yeah, Old Tom. Old Tom. So rye.
Old Tom is rye.
So Old Tom, it's a style of gin, but we age it in rye barrels and that peach brandy barrel as well. And so the other big people that use the second use barrels, speaking of Scotch, is the Scotch producers in Scotland. Because they don't have that regulation, it needs to be brand new. And so they buy up the majority of American whiskey barrels. If you ever compare the color of Scotch to American whiskey, in general, people get very mad when they realize it's lighter, and that's from second use barrels.
This is the gin.
That's the gin.
It actually smells really good. Ooh, good. Thank you.
Here we go.
This is the hot honey. That's really sweet for hot honey. Oh, comes. Now it's hot. Flagship.
Brownstone rye.
Yeah, I would say the hot honey is like great. And then today's date.
Today's date.
And a bottle by is my name.
Yeah, you're.
If you mess it up, they tax you twice. Bonus points if you're right. F, A, B, C.
No.
For notes. Alright, so this is the bottle and this is the cap.
Hi. No, it doesn't have the etch writing on it.
Nice color.
Yeah, it's kind of really dark color too.
Got marker on my hand. Right here?
Yep.
Oh, French.
Let me get a little shot glass.
She's lying. She totally did that.
I did not.
Okay, so that's for you.
My hand smells really good. It smells really good.
Yeah, that one's yours.
So like, oh, well, oh my God. What?
I've never seen that.
Okay, now that's a first.
Wait, what's happening?
Is there stickiness on the back of this? Oh yeah. It's fine. It's actually like right where it's supposed to be. So
Really? It's
it
about to
worked
look
out.
slanted.
It gets super
I
stoned.
think you're good. That's not bad.
It's all right.
That's how
It's
you
fitting
know,
for
like,
me.
It's how you know like a machine.
It's authentic.
You know, it looks more.
It's authentic.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they got hot or something because they're all being.
It's alright. You need to make excuses for it.
And it goes across.
Yeah. I'm perfectly perfect.